It's Tuesday, so here am I streaming again, trying to keep up with the promise to stream 5 days a week, which I have done since I started maybe about 2 weeks ago. Today we are getting down to the wire. It's 7:30 p.m. here almost in Australia, so I really am pushing it to the line. Just as a note for you, if you're trying to be consistent in social media, it's actually quite a good idea to turn up at the same time each day or if you've chosen to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, or whatever your combination is, or just every Monday. If you turn up at the same time, then you start to teach your people, your followers, that you will be available around that time. So, and that you will, for them to expect to see a video from you at that time. So don't necessarily do what I'm doing. Do try and do it every day or as regular as you can and stick to it. But don't maybe be as random about the time. So anyway, that's just a little tip. Right now in the silly season, it's been much easier for me to not stick to a particular time, although mornings is often better for me. What did I want to talk about today? So we are Tuesday the 22nd. What I'm going to let you know about right now is so following on from a coaching that I did today. I went and taught some of my clients how to set up a lookalike audience on Facebook. When I first heard about a lookalike audience, I thought, oh, what a cool concept. And I haven't changed. That is actually a cool concept. What does it mean? So we're delving a little bit away from organic social media and starting to walk on the ad side in social media. Now, I'm not an expert in ads any more than I am in other things, but it is something I have played with a lot over the years for myself and for clients. So I do know a little bit about it. And the basics of it are really marketing 101. So it's not that complicated. It's just some of the tools can be a little complicated if you don't know what you're doing and if you're not sure what you can do. So, for example, a lookalike audience. This is in Facebook. You can say to Facebook, I have this audience, and I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. I have this audience. Can you go and find an audience on Facebook that looks a bit like this? So this audience that you give them, again, I'll explain that a bit in a minute, that you give them may have certain attributes. Maybe they're mostly females aged between, say, 35 and 45. Maybe they've said that they like to go away on weekends. Maybe they have bought certain products or something and Facebook's been able to see that in some way. Maybe they like a particular Facebook page, and maybe they say they have an interest in, I don't know, let's just say astrology. Just trying to think of something off the top of my head. So maybe they have a whole bunch of things like that in common. Things that you wouldn't necessarily know to target if you were just doing an ad just based on, say, one or two or three interests that are similar. Instead, what you're saying is look at these people as a whole, age, and all the other interests and things that they're doing on Facebook and work out what's similar about them. And with that information, go and find me another audience. So not the people that I'm giving you to do this little algorithm on, but go and create another audience based on that. So what you found that they have in common. So when they do that, you can then use that audience to advertise to inside the Facebook advertising platform. And that in itself, if you think about it, is quite powerful. So where do you get these audiences from? Well, you can get them. There's a bunch of places, but two of them that I think are quite powerful. One of them is actually from the likes on your Facebook page. So somebody's put their hand up and said, I really like Jane Smith and I want to follow her, and they're following you on Facebook. Then they're the people. So you can say to Facebook, everybody who's liked my Facebook page, can you use them as the audience to go and find another audience that looks a little like this? And so they'll go off and do that based around different parameters that you can give them to, country and things like that. Then one of the other ones, which this is what what made me most excited when I heard about it a number of years ago. Lookalike audiences have been around for some time, but it was you can take an existing email database that you have. So if you have a database, and you should have, by the way, we can get into emails sometime, but you really should have an email list. If you can give them a bunch of emails of, say, your customers, so your customer database, then they can take that email list and apply it to Facebook, because most people have only 1 or 2 email addresses, and they use the same email address to sign up for Facebook, for example. So Facebook will be able to then apply that same principle that we're talking about in creating your Facebook lookalike audience, as if they were going over to your Facebook page and looking at the people who liked it. Instead, they can apply the same thing based on an email list. So you can actually use that email list to advertise to as well, by the way, if that's the email address they've used to sign up to Facebook. But also they can use it, which is what we're talking about here, to create a lookalike audience. So they'll go and say, okay, all these people with this email address have liked astrology, for example. They're women and they're aged between, what did we say before, 35 and 45. They have children, and they also like XYZ other pages on the internet. So whatever they have in common, then they'll go and find other people who have similar things going on in their Facebook accounts. So I hope that's got you a little bit excited. I could possibly do a training for you and step you through a little bit of it, just the basics. Or you can just go and Google, and you'll find there's plenty of videos on how to create a lookalike audience inside Facebook. So enjoy that little tip. I will be back tomorrow. Another crazy day leading into Christmas I think we've got 20 odd people coming to our place for Christmas in a few days. So I am feeling a little bit like lots to do, but I'm sure you're the same. So have an awesome day wherever you are, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.